Welcome to another channel update. My name is Nilaus and this is the update for January 2022. So the first of this year, and it's also a special update because it is my 3-year anniversary as a full-time content creator. So what happened 3 years ago? 3 years ago on the 14th of January 2019, I got fired from my job as a corporate manager in a large IT organization. And well, the day after I was a full-time content creator. There is a story that I've told numerous times behind that, but I won't go into that. But I will take this opportunity in this update video, since this is like a 3-year anniversary, to look a bit back on what was before and how the last 3 years have been. I think that's a healthy thing to do when you've been doing something for 3 years. But it's also a good opportunity for me to, of course, in these videos, always talk about what games are upcoming and what we're going to be doing here on the channel, both on YouTube and Twitch, so that you are updated with what's going on. Something that's been on my mind that I would like to try is an AMA, or an Ask Me Anything. So this is a bit of a concept where you get the opportunity to ask me anything on your mind about sort of my business, my choices, my life, whatever is on your mind and you'd like to know that doesn't really fit into maybe a Twitch chat or a YouTube comment. So this is your opportunity to do that. I'll be hosting this on Twitch because it works better in a live stream environment. So it's going to be on Twitch on Monday at 8 p.m. Central European Time, and the link is twitch.tv/Nilaus. It's also in the description below. The way it's going to work is that you can post comments below in this comment section, or you can tweet it at me, or you can join the live stream and then ask your questions, and then I'll be talking a bit about some of the questions that come up and hopefully we'll have some interesting conversation. What I'll do after that live stream, because I know that not everyone can join these live streams, is I'll wrap this one up and I'll edit it and put it back here on this YouTube channel, so that you also get the opportunity to see my answers to selected questions as well. So that's going to be something I think is interesting. If this is fun and we like it, then we could do that sort of like an end of year's tradition. But let's see if there's anything. Otherwise, we'll just sit here and look at chat for 2 hours and then never do that again. So post your questions below, and then I will take a look at them and try to answer as well as possible. On the topic of the content creation, this is now my full-time job, and I can't imagine doing anything else ever again, getting a real job in any way. So that's something. That's because I really like what I'm doing now, and I really like that I'm able to do this thanks to you. So one of the things that I've been sort of thinking about was, if I could sort of distill what were the things that I didn't like about my previous job that I really like about my current job, and maybe do an analogy of some sorts. And I think the best analogy is one tile off. So in my previous job as a corporate IT manager, I had the responsibility for development, design, testing, operations of a suite of programs that were sort of for internal customers. The problem was that in that job, that we had ambitions, we had visions, and together with the business, and about how things would be. And then we had, imagine a Factorio factory, like neat sacred path and city blocks dedicated to specific objectives, and then way over budget, way over time, lots of people stressed out. You look at it and it's just an awful spaghetti mess. And just looking at each other, looking at my team, and we kind of had a saying in the team that's kind of symptomatic of the problem. The saying was, it's something. Because it was never good. It was never what we wanted. It was never using the new tools, the methodologies. It was always just some half-assed thing that was decided by too many bosses, too many constraints. And we just like, well, I mean, it is something, right? And the analogy to the one tile off, there, you know me, and if I build a factory and it's one tile off, then I'm gonna tear the whole damn factory down and move it one tile, because that's where it's supposed to be, and it's gonna be better later on because it's more supportable, and it looks nicer, and it's more maintainable. And it's the same with IT systems. And it was just never there. It was always this spaghetti mess, and then we're sort of stuck with the spaghetti mess base and just not having any clue how it was working. And that's the part where, in my current job, well, now I don't build large IT programs, but I build my bases in Factorio, in Satisfactory, in Dyson sphere program, and they can be exactly how I want them. So if I want to move the factory one tile and then build it where it should be built, I will goddamn do that. And there is no one that can stop me. And That's so brilliant, because when I did that in my previous job, well, there's a reason why I don't have that job. It was not appreciated that I tore the factory down and moved it one tile over, because that was the right place to build it. And that's really the core part, the core essence of what I really like about being a content creator. The quality standards are exactly to my quality standards, and there's no one else who can say anything. And if I wanted to put more effort in, I can put more effort in. If I want to put less effort in, I can put less effort in, but it will always match my quality expectations. And that was something I did not have any control over. And if you've seen me build a factory that's one tile off, you can see the visible frustration in me. And that was just the essence of going to work as a corporate manager. It was just everything was one tile off, and there was nothing you could do about it. And you just kind of had to close your eyes and hope that it would kind of work anyway, and the next project would be better. And that's kind of that was kind of the problem. The next project was never better. It was the same mess. We promised each other it would be different, but it was always the same mess. So that's why I worked towards becoming a full-time content creator. And then I was in the fortunate position that my idiot boss fired me. So that gave me a nice severance package to allow me to get started as a full-time content creator. I'd been doing content as sort of an aside for a couple of years before going full-time, but the prospect of me becoming a full-time YouTuber just had some implications that I needed to sort of reflect on. There are some things that I dislike about the job title YouTuber, or the role of the YouTuber. If we look at a stereotypical YouTuber, then there's an over-the-top narration, really overhyped for something that doesn't need to be overhyped about. There is an excessive amount of sponsorships and ad integrations that feels disingenuous and dishonest. And the last thing is the whole clickbait, both in terms of thumbnails and silly expressions. And I dislike that. And I was like, if I'm going to be a full-time YouTuber, I have to do that, or I have to not do it. And if I don't do it, then I leave a lot of money on the table and a lot of potential for growth on the table. And I just have to do that because of, well, there's a thing called professional integrity, and I really firmly believe in that. So if I was going to do this, I would have to do it my way, and then see if it could be sustainable. Luckily, since I'm here 3 years later, it was sustainable, or at least it is sustainable to this date. And it's super amazing, because what happened as a result of me making these conscious choices is I attracted an audience who feel the same way as I do. That is a more mature audience that is sort of kind of tired of this thing. That means, I looked at my YouTube statistics, there are fewer people in the teens watching my videos than there are in their 60s. I don't think that's common here on YouTube, at least definitely not common on a gaming YouTube channel. So I love it, the fact that there's a mature audience. The great thing about a mature audience as well, compared to having kids watch it, is that you are able to give back to the community, give back to me. And that's kind of how the whole thing works, because I don't do these sponsorship, I don't do these ad integrations. What I do instead is I mention that I have a Patreon, and a lot of people are super generous and support on Patreon or during the live streams. And that's really the essence of how this channel operates. It is by me creating the content, and then hopefully a small percentage will be supporting on Patreon or during live streams. And that's how it works. And I'm really happy that it works, because that allows me to continue to maintain my integrity and maintain my house and food, and kids like food, so that's also important. So thank you very much, all of you who are supporting on Patreon or during live streams. It really means a lot to me, and it's kind of the only way that this whole thing can continue. And of course, if you're not in a position to do that, don't feel bad about it. By no means, don't apologize. You are welcome to consume as much content, be as active as you like in the live streams. There is definitely no obligation, but just thank the people who are able to support, because it just needs a small percentage to make the whole thing sustainable. So if you're enjoying it, well, enjoy it. And if you want to support, then I have a Patreon, or there's also options during my live streams. Let's go into the second chapter of this. I do always, in these kind of monthly update, I talk a bit about something that's on my mind, and then I talk a bit about the games and the plan for upcoming content and what's going on. So let's move into that part, the games part. And well, I'm kind of become more split in looking at stuff that's my main games and stuff that are sort of my secondary games. And let's look at the primary games. The primary games are basically the factory games, that kind of thing. That is my genre, where I attract the highest audience. And then I have my other games that's primarily action RPGs, Souls games that have a much smaller audience, but I love them equally. So those are the two kinds of content, two types of games that I will be playing, and let's go into that. First, of course, Factorio. We're all waiting for news about the expansion. Until that happens, I'm going to continue the mega base in a book. I am super appreciating all of the support. It's so amazing to be able to record an episode 48 and know that there's going to be an audience for it, and I love it. This has this perpetual nature that is that's what I really wanted from a Let's Play, that we could sort of continue without sort of having a specific goal. So thank you very much for following it. It's super amazing. It's super great to see the interaction, the good ideas, the bad ideas, the new concepts we come up with and integrate into our mega base. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you for that. But also, there will be no other Factorio content upcoming until there's something new that happens from Factorio side. Satisfactory. I am playing Satisfactory a lot. It's my main game over on Twitch. It's 3 days a week, and if you're following it here on YouTube, then I do get some comments like, oh, I can't keep up because you're skipping too much. Yes, I put 200 hours into that base on Twitch. It's never going to be 200 hours here on YouTube, and what I do is I find some things that I find are interesting and then make a showcase, a tutorial about that here on YouTube. Now, though, what I've noticed is that the YouTube content for Satisfactory has declined. It's a lot less interesting. Oops. No, and what I mean is, it is a lot less. There's a lot less engagement. There's a lot less views on it. So the interest is falling, and it could either be the fact that it's more late game and therefore less relevant to more people. The other thing is that it's also sort of a matter of update 5 is no longer new, so sort of interest has waned and a lot of people have moved on. It's not something that I mind too much. I'm still going to be putting out videos occasionally because it's one of my main games, and when I do some cool designs over on Twitch, or we do some cool designs, then I want to showcase them and highlight them here on YouTube. Despite the fact that there aren't as many views as there were at the beginning of this. But if you want to watch the whole thing or be part of that, you can come on over to Twitch, as I always say, or if you can't make it fit, then you can also watch my VODs. They are on my VOD channel. I feel that a lot of people don't know it, but it's Nilaus TV. It's on here on YouTube. It's a secondary channel. If you go to my main channel, there's a link to my secondary channel, and all my VODs from all my live streams are there, and you can scroll and scrub and jump over the boring parts, and then you can maybe have a 4-hour stream be 10 minutes of content. I don't know. It's up to you. You can watch as much as you like, and they're always there. They're always available. So that's, they will be available after some time. 2-3 days or something after the live stream, they will be up there. So it's always available for you to watch the live stream content, even if you're not able to join the actual live streams. I recently played some Captain of Industry. It is in closed beta right now, and it was really well received, and I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was just like, okay, we'll just play it a bit, but there was a really good reception of it, and that's definitely a game that I'm coming back to. I did 5 episodes here on YouTube, I think, and I don't intend to do any more of that. I think this is a good place to sort of end it for now, and then come back to it so that it's fresh when it comes to Steam sometime in March. And I think March is a perfect time for us because that's when we sort of have some opening in the calendar for a new game. So that's the objective or the plan for Captain Industry. That is no more for now, but definitely more when it comes to Steam. So keep an eye on the channel for more Captain of Industry content coming up. New things that are coming back, old things that are coming back. Dyson Sphere program is coming up with a release on their 1-year anniversary, that the 20th of January. I had a nice boost of subscribers and new people joining the channel as part of the Dyson Sphere program launch. And I really want to return to that game. I haven't played it in half a year. And the fact that we now have achievements in the game that, well, they've been there for a while, but I haven't played since achievements were added. We have some new buildings coming in. That means I'm going to start a new series, and it will be a combined series, Twitch, YouTube. I'll be streaming on Twitch, and then I'll be sort of replaying it as a more of a Let's Play style here on YouTube. There will be some skips about sort of the more trivial things, but the essence will be, it'll be an achievement run So the essence is to get all the achievements, minus the timed ones, in one game. And that means there are some weird constraints about no solar and no foundations and low resource. So it's going to be different from my previous one. And I'm going to replay it play it on Twitch, and then also you can expect to see a lot of Dyson Sphere Program content here on YouTube. Of course, it's one of those things where I'm going to start it up and I'm going to see reception, and if it sort of tapers off, then I'm also going to stop that if there's something else coming along. But that is your opportunity to join in. It's going to start on Thursday the 20th on Twitch, and then shortly after that it's coming to YouTube as well. So I hope you want to join in and support that new, old, returning project. Those were the main games, and then I'll just briefly talk a bit about my secondary games, because those are something I absolutely love. I love Souls games. I've been playing Dark Souls 3 recently. I've just completed Bloodborne and the DLCs, and I think I did pretty well. So if you want to watch that, again, go to my VOD channel. They are there, Nilaus TV here on YouTube. They're all there, and you can watch them. It was quite an amazing run. And I want to also replay Sekiro in the coming period, because it's also one of my favorite. No, it's actually my favorite game in that genre. I wanted to play God of War. I know it's not a Souls game, but it's kind of an action RPG as well. It is an action RPG, but it just got too squeezed with Dyson Sphere Program as well. So I'm going to push that until closer to the sequel Ragnarok comes out. It's probably going to be September, so we will replay that before it comes out. And then of course the biggest thing that will be taking over the channel for a while at least will be Elden Ring, that comes out on the 25th of February. It's I'll be streaming that a lot. I'll be putting out a lot of content for it. If you have no interest in that, that's fine. Bear with me. I'm going to be doing a push for that while it's new and fresh and awesome and amazing. And then of course we'll still have our usual things still going on. But it's a game that I've been looking forward to for a very long time, and it's the first Souls game that I actually get to play from release. So I want to be part of sort of the hype and the exploration and all that stuff. So you can follow that a lot on Twitch and a lot on YouTube here as well when Elden Ring comes out. But in the meantime, we'll play some of these other games that are, well, actually it's Sekiro that we have on the plan before then. And I intend to continue to play these kind of games. It'll sort of be something I fit into my streaming schedule whenever there isn't anything else. And maybe you noticed that I'm putting up some YouTube short videos here on my main channel. These are sort of boss guides. I want to do that for all the Souls games. And it's basically, the idea is that if there is ever a day that I don't have any other content, then I'm going to try to put one of these guides in. It's not going to be always, but it's just a little idea that if I can build up a repository of having every single boss fight in these games, having a 1-minute guide for, I think that would be pretty amazing. And I love the game, so I love replaying these boss fights. So that it makes perfect sense for me to do this, even though I do it mainly for myself and less so for the core audience of the channel. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this update. It was a bit lengthy, but I felt that as a 3-year anniversary thing, there were a few things I wanted to mention. If you are still around and still awake, then thank you very much for following all the way to the end. Leave a comment about the AMA. If you have any questions, burning questions, then let me know, and I will bring them up in the AMA. They ask me anything. And otherwise, of course, I'll see you here on YouTube, over on Twitch. You can also follow me on Twitter, where I post occasionally, and also come into the Discord as well to hang out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay effective.